This is Stephanie with Hightower Stitching with today's video, which is folding and sewing hexagons made from fabric circles. This is part one of part two. Part two will be fussy cutting to make special hexagons. And at the end of the video, I want to show you the finished quilt from the 2.5-inch strips and partial seams videos. I'm going to start out this video by looking at stacks of folded hexagons that I've made and saying, okay, where do you go from here? That's nice, a nice stack, and they're fun to make, I'm going to tell you that, because you don't need anything at this point but your fingers and a circle of fabric. So let's drift over here and look at this. This is made out of those folded hexagons. These are pieces that fit into each other like a puzzle, and you can go from there to decide, like you could do a whole baby quilt or another kind of quilt and then put edging around it. I've put some together with an additional row of folded hexagons on them, and I kept a piece of back material large enough for backing. I'm not finished with it. My basket's full of those black flowers that I'm ready to use on that, coming up with a project. Drift over here. This is a bag that's in process, and it's made from circles of stars and the other fabrics and laid down, and then I can just move them around. I can add stems to them. Then I also wanted to add a lining in that bag when I get done. Even though it's already made, I can do that. And from one of the first videos that I did, and it'll be on the end of this video, I showed you the pillow that I did, and this has really been fun. People have enjoyed looking at this. And when I got ready to do the edging, after I stuffed it, I just simply took and did a blanket stitch to close it up on both ends. Now, I could have cut it straight off on there, but I just chose not to. And then here's a big panel. Once you get started on this, you just go, where am I going to go? Well, I don't know, but I've got this one ready. So it could be a pocketbook. It could be part of a little quilt. Just anything along that line. So in a second, we're going to start. I'm going to move over to the iron. The iron. This is Stephanie. I'm back over at the ironing board now. And I want to show you how to do this. And look at this big circle. This is an 8.5-inch dinner plate. And I thought this is a great way to go. Because this one's so big, I am going to use some iron. So the first thing you do is you want to take and press it in half. Open it up. Press it again. And you really don't need to do all that pressing. It's the center part here. Alright, and I just do that to make that easier because it's so big. Then I leave it folded. And the main point here was what I wanted. So I'm going to just press that good. Alright, for this we're going to take the bottom edge and fold it up to the middle. And I'm going to tap it with the presser there. Then I'm going to turn it. Now watch what I did. I turned it. We're going clockwise. I'm going to this one. I'm going to bring this piece of that half up to that center and then line this up a little bit. And I'm going to keep doing that now. I'm going to come down to this one and I'm going to pull it up. And I'm going to go ahead and turn. And you can see where my next press is. I'm going to pull it up. And I'm just going to hit this one because it's so big for a minute. Alright, we're almost at the end. You actually have 6 presses you do. And there was the one we were working on. I'm going to pull it up to the middle. And you're going to have something that looks like an ice cream cone. And for some reason, this piece has got a little extra out there. Don't worry about that. Because when you turn it towards you, you're going to pull this back up to the center. Press this one good because that's where all your folds are. And see what we got. There we have a huger hexagon. Alright, let's do it again. And this time, let's see if I can do it without the iron. I want to know where the middle is. So I'm going to fold it in half. Fold it in half. Finger press that really good. and open it up, and there's my center, okay? I'm going to take and fold the first one up, and then I'm going to either turn it, which I'm used to turning them. I'm going to turn him and pull it up, slide it out, turn it, pull him up, and now right now, because it's so big, I'm going to hit it with a iron. All right, see how we're going? Now here's that point. We're going to pull it up. See if I can pull it next. Let's see if this one comes out better. Let's see. Oh, yeah. If you look down here, this is just perfect. And it doesn't matter. You could see from the other one, it turned out great. I've got the last. There's my ice cream cone. All right, and I turn it over, and I've got these two. And it doesn't matter what size circle you do. This is another one, and then I drop down to a 3-inch circle, and I'm going to show you those on another show, and what I'm going to do with those. Okay, now we're to the sewing part, and it depends how you want your pieces to go together, depending on your project, and you'd figure that out as you were going. But here, if I was going to put two sides together with the points up, I'd do it this way. Let's say that I want it to have the flat part up. Well, let me see what I'm trying to do here. Anyway, till you get to the point where you want. Oh, these would actually sit like this, and you'd have to put the ones in between that came there. That's why I couldn't get it. All right, but now let's look at what you do when you sew them. I'm going to take my two fronts and put them together. And I've added this in because the next video is going to be on fussy cutting for some special blocks that you want. And so put it together, take your thread, and you're going to knot it, and you're going to slide up in through there. And it's not going to show, so you can actually just leave it sit there. And what you want to do, and I usually use a medium tan thread because it goes with everything and disappears. You're just going to pick up a little bit of the material across the top. And you've used this technique before when you were putting things together. And just go across there. Now, the neater these stitches are and the closer they're together, the better it's going to look. And so I'm going to stop, and we're going to look and see how I'm doing. So I would be using a medium tan because if it shows on the other side, there's not too much. So do stop and look at what you have. And you can see, you can barely see those. And if they had been tan, you wouldn't see those at all. And you would just go all the way to the end and then knot off and get ready and do your next part. And if you look at the pillow that I had done earlier, and the closer you get, you can't see many of the stitches. And I actually used a white thread then, but I've learned that the tan works better. And look at that one, that was the pillow. And then come down here and look at this flat one. And the nice thing about this is you sort of have this fluffiness because when you turn it over, you know you've got these extra pieces of fabric underneath there. And so you're halfway to having such a really nice quilted object, whether you stick some more batting under there if you make it into a quilt or something. In part 2, I'm going to show you some hints that I've gotten for making fussy cuts. So that, like Eeyore, there he is. Here's a star. That's what I wanted. I got a star. I wanted a butterfly in the middle. I wanted Snoopy characters in the middle. I wanted a fish in the middle. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And I'm going to show you on a small, like this size hexagon. And then also on that big one, because I came up with a cute project. So this is Stephanie at Hightower Stitching. Let me share with you the quilt, the 2.5-inch strip and the partial seam quilt that I finished. If you remember this one, you can put all kinds of colors together. And when they're looking at them, before you sew them together, you say, I don't think this is going to work. And I want you to look at these colors that made the blocks. And if you'll remember, the block's got a centerpiece, and then it's got 2 strips and a little end cap, and that repeats itself 4 times around there. And so here's the quilting that I did in the center, and I think I've talked about that before. And I did it on the sewing machine because there was going to be a lot I wanted to get on there to let this hold together. And I was really pleased with the way this turned out. The blocks weren't off because I used the grain of the fabric to make the strips the long way, and then got it sewn together. This is Stephanie at Hightower Stitching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope the hexagon part is helpful to you. If I haven't forgotten anything, I will write it in the description. If you like this, subscribe and hit a like. And thank you for watching.